Welcome, Dover and Fatih. First of all, thank you for making the time to be here. And over the next 40 minutes, we'll be talking a little bit about the value that AIESEC brings to the companies, especially here in France, given the business environment that is here in France. Um, so having said that, I'm going to introduce myself briefly, or well, maybe not that briefly. So for you guys to know, well, my name is Jair. I was a nice I'm industrial engineer and master in human resources. I did my master in Argentina, and there I joined AIESEC. I had different roles in different areas, but mainly in TM or talent management. I'm not sure if the name has changed. And also OGX or outgoing exchange, which was my favorite area. In AIESEC, I did quite a lot of stuff. I was a member. I went on exchange to Brazil on a volunteer exchange. I also was LCVP OGX for corporate. So I was recruiting interns for positions in other countries, just like the other counterpart of what you're doing right now. And in 2013-14, I was MCVP OGX in AIESEC Australia. I also, on top of that, I have experience in HR, mainly in talent attraction, selection, and talent development. Last year, I was global HR coordinator at Unilever, and currently I'm global HR analyst in Nextens, which is one of the partners of AIESEC in France. So that's me, that's who I am, and that's my professional experience. So as you can see, I'm a truly AIESECer who went through basically all programs as a team member, team leader, um, um, volunteer, and then also a intern in a professional internship or global talent. I know it's called right now. So this is the agenda for today. First, we'll be talking a little bit about AIESEC, which is something I'm sure you guys know, and you guys know better than me. But then I want to give you a different approach, an approach that sound interesting for companies. Then second, why establishing or setting up a partnership with AIESEC makes sense to different businesses. Then the third is tips for delivering the partnership, and actually not only delivering, but also starting, establishing, and then delivering the partnership. And last but not least, how to use external trends to understand more about the industry, where the company operates, what are the needs that they may have, and then find links between AIESEC, the value proposition of AIESEC, and the needs of talents that the company has. So is it clear till now? Do you guys have any questions so far? Questions? Are you guys there? Hello, are you guys there? Okay, no question. Great. I just wanted to check that you guys didn't fall asleep. So then, when we talk about understanding of AIESEC, we know that we are in these many countries, in these many territories. How many members do we have? How many alumni do we have? There's something that really gets the attention of the companies, especially of the HR leaders, is when we talk about leadership. So So it's important to mention that what we do in AIESEC is to create exciting and inspiring leadership experience for young people around the world, and to share with them that we provide the opportunity for young people to develop themselves at early stages of their lives and also at early stages of their career. So that's very, very, I would say, really, really catchy. And it's also important to share the numbers. I think the AIESEC, the way we measure our impact, the way we measure our scope, and the numbers is really a good backup of every single speech or every single thing you're going to say to the company, because it really can change the HR leader mind from dealing with a student from a student club in the university to talk to a young leader who's part of a global network, which in most of the cases could be bigger than the company itself. Because if we think about it, for example, in AIESEC, we have 70,000 members. Very few companies in this world has this many employees. I'm currently working at Nexans. It's the second largest cable manufacturer company in the world. We have presence in 26 countries, and we have presence in 44 countries, and we have 26,000 employees. So AIESEC has pretty much 3 times more members than the company I work for has employees. So in that sense, in that regard, I do believe that sharing the numbers will make a real difference. And I'm sure it will make a difference in the way people will treat you, because they will know that you are representing something that is bigger than yourself. Something interesting as well, and which I think Isaac could bring a lot of value, is the female leadership. Every single day in many, many companies, there is more awareness about developing female leadership. If you look at information of the World Economic Forum, there is one special section on female leadership or reducing the gender gap, and many companies are aware of that. So if you do a Google search of the company you're going to visit, and that is something that is written, or if there is anything written on their website on diversity, on female leadership, then I think you should definitely bring the numbers of how many female leaders AIESEC has, which in 2013-14, when I was working AIESEC, was higher than male leadership. It was about 58%, uh, starting from the AIESEC international team all the way down to the members in many, many countries. So are we clear on that? Is so far so good? Is it clear? Are you guys following? Say yes or no. Yes, great. And do you guys agree with what I just said? With like, based on your experience doing sales, based on your experience um, visiting potential customers or companies, can you guys share a little bit of your experiences? Really believe that maybe sharing our numbers, it does make a difference. Okay, cool. We all agree that it does make a difference. So something also I would like to mention is that Sometimes also we need to be aware of our other student associations that, for example, I remember back in the day we always working with other from Unilever trying to establish partnership with youth organizations. There was this organization called Enactus, which name usually popped up in our searches, but then they have presence in less universities, they have presence in less countries, um, provide less diverse profiles. So when we had to decide which, with which organization should we establish a partnership, ISEC was the best available option because of the scope, because of the numbers of countries, because of the presence in so many universities, and because of the diversity of the profile that ISEC could provide. So that's also something to keep in mind. Great. Are we clear? So yeah, Fat says, yes, it does make a difference. I always share at least the number of countries and the number of members. Great. Keep doing that. Carry on doing that. So having said that, the next thing we really need to do, and we really need to spend time on, is to helping the HR leader to understand the way I say work. And this in this presentation, I sort of map out a little bit of the way I understand, the way I used to do, to explain to leaders at Unilever in different countries how ISEC work. So starting from the ISEC international offices, the offices in all the countries, and the offices in all the universities, and the different programs that ISEC provide. I know these numbers might not be really updated, and even the name of the programs might have changed, but the main idea of this is to help people to understand the organizational structure and the operational structure of ISEC, so that enables them to choose ISEC as a organization that can provide talent for their company regardless the location of their company. For example, in the company I'm working for is an global company based here in France, specifically in Paris. It's a French company. And when we were thinking, okay, we need young talents, Isaac was also an option because the company has factories in Brazil, in Peru, in Colombia, as well as China, Italy, and Isaac has presence in all these 26 countries where we operate. So we were not only thinking of bringing young talent to the global corporate office, but in the case any of these countries need young talent, then we can actually get them in touch with ISEC in their countries to establish a local partnership. So that's really important. I said before, many companies look for long sustainable partnerships that can bring solutions to the different company needs. Something also you guys need to understand and be aware of is that companies that have processes, internal processes to register every single transaction they do, they in the purchasing departments, or in some companies is the finance department, they have to register um, uh, the ID for legal purposes, the IDs and of the companies they work for. So, for example, if in human resources we want to hire someone to train our employees, then these companies to have a legal status, so that we can register them into our system and then pay them once they have provided their services. So that's what I mean when I talk about long sustainable partnerships. So it is important to let the company know that that's also something we are looking for. For companies, it's very difficult to change the suppliers they work with every day because of the internal processes they have. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any questions? Any comment? Okay, it's clear. And so then let's keep going. So the point of this is on helping the HR leaders and the companies understand how AIESEC operates, the AIESEC structure, the programs, and then as well as our interest or genuine interest to establish big and long-term sustainable partnerships. Okay, cool. So having said that, the next something I would like to share with you guys is like why, right? Why establishing partnerships makes sense. Partnerships with AIESEC makes sense um, to the companies. And what I would say about this is that it's all about finding the sweet spot. This is the case of Unilever. Is a real case, I would say business case, is when we tell the companies, or when we match four key things that every single company has. And it's first, company vision and purpose. Second is the company strategy. And what I mean by strategy is where the company is growing. What are the markets they're focusing on? If they are opening new offices in certain countries, if they're doing well in sales, they might need hire. They might have the need to hire more salespeople and so on. Then the third is the company values, and last but not least is the company leadership competencies, behaviors, or standards of leadership. This is defined in different companies in different ways, but at the end of the day, it's the same. It's the competencies or leadership skills or type of leaders that the company wants to develop. You can find this information in pretty much all the company websites, on LinkedIn, on the website. There are many, many pages that where people give reviews on the companies. Um, so it's important that apart from the fact that both organizations are global, are large in terms of operations and members for AIESEC and employees for the companies, there are things that bring them together. And these things that bring them together are things that I mentioned before: vision, purpose, values, standards of leadership, skills, behaviors that they expect from the members and employees. So in that regard, it's very, very important for you guys to let them know what are how's the AIESEC learning environment? What are the skill set that AIESEC members develop, which I'm sure you guys are very aware of. Um, so let them know that in AIESEC, we do provide real leadership experience to people, a project management experience, the opportunity to interact with others, to attend conferences, organize seminars, learning cycles, mentoring, and really powerful team working experience. Many of them are global experience. So there's something that many companies struggle to provide to their employees, and that AIESEC can easily do it. So they will bring talent that already have this first-hand experience. Clear? Are we clear on that? So basically, something we need to let them know is that yeah, we will bring them talents that can are self-aware, that they have clarity about their strengths, weaknesses. They are people who are driven by purpose, by values, and they are world citizens who are empathetic about the world issues, who know how basically the world trends, they have business intelligence and so on. They are people who are able to live in this VUCA world, which VUCA is, I'm gonna, VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. And there are people who can engage with others, who can easily connect and work with people from different countries, nationalities, ages, functions, profiles, etc. Good. So I think this is something that really, where you guys really need to pay attention. And then I recommend you to at least do long research on that and put a present slide on your presentation matching these two things, showing clearly what are the AIESEC values, what are the AIESEC strategy, behaviors, and so on, and what are the company vision, purpose, composite strategy, values, and behaviors. So basically, in a nutshell, what we are telling them is also something that many companies are working towards. And that's anything different than become a great employer for young people, basically. Nowadays, and I can tell you with confidence, because I'm a HR professional, that there is a lot of competition for talent. Um, a lot of competition for talent, especially in certain industries. Um, and many companies are shifting their efforts from recruitment to talent attraction, because the talent attraction strategy will help them to bring the right talent to their company. So in that sense, AIESEC can be a strategic partner for any company that want to bring the best available young talent to their companies. AIESEC can help them to become the number one desired employer to work for in 123 countries for young people, which makes a huge difference. Okay. Um, and I said before, with more than 1 million graduates in the database, which I know AIESEC has, or even more, from some of the top universities in the world, and with a strong leadership skill, AIESEC can easily enable a company to attract top talent. And for that, you can also, guys, mention what are the best universities in your countries. You can also mention um, some of the universities that are well known in this world where AIESEC has presence, and it's something that will definitely make a difference. Sometimes also, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because when you guys attend a meeting and when you guys are planning to establish a new partnership, you need to be basically a consultant for the company. You need to listen them, and you need to bring solutions. And for that, you need first to be a salesperson, but also a sort of an HR or recruitment consultant. Um, so then you can understand their needs and bring effective solutions for their company needs. So it's a little bit of both. So you can also use case studies to prove your points, which if I think if you guys follow the structure and some of the key messages I'm trying to convey and share with you, I'm sure you won't need business cases. But I think given that many people don't know AIESEC, don't know the way it works, it's always really important to reinforce this message with real business cases or case studies. So let's stop for a second. There is a question. I once asked by a company how many people we have in our database. You say 1 million. And I think it's more than 1 million actually. And maybe Nick can and better answer this question. And what I mean by people in our database is the number of students who sign up for AIESEC, for any of the AIESEC programs, um, which I don't know how it's called now, but in the past it was applicants for the internships. So I think Nick can answer this question. Um, but then I'm sure don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say this because I'm sure the number must be higher of how many people actually register on a daily basis. But yeah, um, so while Niktesh check, we will carry on with the webinar. I think we are running a bit late. I'm sorry for that. But my point was also, I said before, not everybody, sadly, not everybody knows AIESEC. So sometimes we need to prove and we need to reinforce the messages. And a great way to do it is using case studies to prove that a partnership with AIESEC is worth it. So there are hundreds of cases out there with Unilever, more than 10 years of partnership with PwC, with many years. I actually don't remember how long, but it's a long-term partnership. And then another one is Alcatel-Lucent, which is also a long partnership. And the reason why I bring Alcatel-Lucent is because later on I will explain you a little bit the context in which the partnership with the current company I work for, how the partnership started, and it has something to do with Alcatel. But this is just an example, and um, so another example is the Electrolux, which is also a partnership that has so many years, um, and then bring also a lot of value to Electrolux growth strategy and also talent strategy. And you can improve these points and you can share. Something also interesting I reckon you guys to use is use also the HR lingo, which is basically the vocabulary and the words that HR people we HR people use, such as retention, attraction, selection, and so on, because that will help the company to understand that, oh, yeah, I will bring, AIESEC will provide top talent, but it's people who will stay in the company. AIESEC will help me in my talent attraction strategy or employer branding strategy. AIESEC can help me to have a faster selection process. Um, and actually, AIESEC process is really, really fast as compared to other companies out there, even some professional companies. There is one recruitment company called Conferry International, which is big and it's one of the big recruitment firms um, worldwide. But then the processes are really, really slow. And so this is also a competitive advantage that AIESEC has. The ability to provide support, cultural support, and also faster visa process. Cool. So this is also another case from DPDHL, which is a company that is basically known everywhere in this world. And wherever you go, and trust me, I've been to more than 35 countries, I've seen this logo. So if you share case studies with companies like this or Unilever itself, it will definitely get the attention of the HR person you're talking to, because it's a company with a good reputation, etc. So having said that, good that we have the numbers. 20,000 and 20,000. Great. It's less than a million. I'm sorry then. So what do we do? Okay, before if we want to target certain companies, if we believe they might be a great partner for AIESEC, because something you need to think is also both ways. It's not like, oh, this company can hire many people, but will this company also will provide good experiences to the AIESEC people? Remember, we're setting expectations and we have to set expectations with both. Because if we bring, for example, an AIESEC member who has a lot of experience and is a really talented person into a company that is not going to give them any challenge, any development, any growth, that student or that graduate or intern will have a bad experience and might ended up breaking the match, right? So it has to be also, we need to think both ways. But having said that, my advice is to first try to research if there are AIESEC alumni working in the company. That can help to build a lot of trust. You can do that with a simple LinkedIn search. You just need to type on the name of the company and AIESEC on LinkedIn, and you will be amazed to see how many results you will find. Um, and then what you have to do is to use those alumni to build trust in the type of leaders and the talent that AIESEC can bring to the company. And I swear, I'm really, really sure that many of them are high potential and high performer employees. So that would be something good if you can do it. Just to share with you guys, when I used to work at Unilever, I did the research with the AI VP for business development, and we found that there were more than 500 AIESEC alumni working at Unilever worldwide. And many of them were senior leaders. When some of them were top 100 leaders, so the, they were in the top leadership body of the company. As I said before, they were is a part of the top most important leaders of Unilever worldwide. So it was really impactful. They could be really influencers because they are also decision makers. Um, and I think if you find some, do not hesitate to bring their names, to mention their names, their positions, if their LinkedIn is up to date, because it would also show that you have done your homework. The second, my advice is to have a look to the jobs and opportunities that the company has that are open. Many, and look for the job, I would say most popular job portals and pay special attention to positions that have language requirements or international experience. Very often these positions are really difficult to fill for the companies. And AIESEC can be a great solution for that challenge that companies faces. Um, and also, if you look at LinkedIn, you can see how many applicants that position has, and also for how long the position has been open. So if you see that it's a low number, and by low I mean less than 500, and if the position has been open for more than 6 to 8 weeks, then it means they're definitely struggling to fill that position. And my advice would also maybe do shortlisting process of AIESEC people in the database to see, oh, who could be a good match for this position, and then you can use that as an argument for your meeting, your sales meeting, saying, oh, listen, I had a look to your LinkedIn. I saw that there is a position that has been open for more than 8 weeks and has got these many applicants. I did a look in our database and maybe look at these candidates. They might be a good match. So also that will show that you did your homework. The third is to have a look at companies' news. So what type of, how's their report? Are they growing in sales? In which markets? If they've launched new products, if they are opening new offices, and all that kind of things, or if they're growing in certain markets. Um, so then the question is like, why not bring in talent from this market who can help the company get a better understanding of the consumers there, or bring in top talent from those countries? So, and the last is understand the company industry, the market trends. Um, and also you can bring, and I think that always helps, is to bring sample of high caliber talents. So you can always say, okay, what about bringing IT talents from India? India, I know, is a big country in AIESEC, and it's also one of the world top exporters of information and computer science professionals. So, and many companies struggle to attract and select IT talents and in India they speak English. So this like also asking these questions uh, will show that you have a good understanding of the market, a good understanding of the um, challenges that the company might be facing. And something we need to keep in mind, and I want to be really, really honest with you guys, is that we are definitely, or AIESEC is definitely a cheap but a good um, solution for the talent needs of the company. And which, when I mean cheap, it doesn't mean it's bad, but it's just cost effective for the company. And we all need to be aware of that. And we all know that, right? Um, so for the company, it won't be the same hiring. It won't be even cheaper for hiring someone from India who is going to pay for his or her own flights and fly and come here than hiring someone here in France with the same skill set and probably not the same language skills. Um, so that's something to keep in mind. Or what about salespeople from Germany? Given that not many French people might speak German, for example. So my advice is to pre-select some high caliber talents, people who have master degrees, postgraduate courses, or good AIESEC experiences, people who are proficient in different languages, maybe French plus Spanish plus German or Italian or Chinese or whatever, um, and share them with them. And I'm sure there are plenty of people who will love to come all over to France. Uh, so if you show this profile to the company, they will always get a glimpse of the type of leaders or the type of profiles we can bring. Also, keep in mind universities, and I'm sure like many students from even good universities, they will consider moving to France because it makes sense for their careers. Um, or people with experience in top companies, like, or keep in mind these companies I say work with like DHL, Unilever, EF, Electrolux, um, Tata. There are companies known everywhere, and so if you find EPs, or I don't know how to call it, applicants in the database with experience in good companies that I recognize worldwide, I'm sure your company will pay even more attention to your speech. So any questions so far? Any questions or any comments? Do you guys agree, disagree? Hello? Cool. If there are no questions, then I'll move on. So this is something you can do to show the global talent that AIESEC can provide. So maybe bring making a top 10 of the languages that are spoken in AIESEC, or sort of show a chart or pie chart on the profiles, backgrounds, and so on. So then the company also can see whether it can fit or match their company needs, right? And then tips for delivering the partnership. This is something where I'm not going to elaborate that much because I think we need to do one thing at a time. And for me, especially in this webinar, is help you guys understand what companies look for in AIESEC, and what is the value that AIESEC bring, and what are the things that can help you guys to get the attention of the HR leaders to be consider partnership, as I said before, as a long sustainable partner for their talent needs. So my advice is for the delivery, just keep it simple. Here I made a short list of what are the company responsibilities, AIESEC responsibilities, but the main point of it is to keep it simple. Because as I said before, we need to bring solutions. We cannot be another problem for the companies, because then that's not what they want. They're already busy enough with many stuff to have also to deal with AIESEC. So now, to wrap up the training, because I'm actually moving towards the last toward the last toward the last slides, is to show you a little bit of external trends. And also in this part, I will be really keen to listen to your answers. So I need you guys to type, because I want to know, what do you guys think? So this is a report based on a survey that LinkedIn ran to nearly 4,000 corporate talent acquisition leaders across 35 countries. So this report is known as the um, the recruiting trends for 2017. You can Google it and you will find it. This is just a snapshot of the report, but I will write the name here. Um, recruiting trends 2017 LinkedIn, something along the lines. If you Google it, you will find it. And this is three is parts of the report. And the first question I would like to ask you is, this is some of the trends, right? So one, it shows what are the top trends that will shape the recruiting industry in the next years. So basically, 30% of the recruiters says that they need to recruit more diverse talents. As you can see here, the 37% of them said that they need to recruit more diverse talents. So my question for you guys is do you think AIESEC um, can help companies to hire more diverse talent? What do you guys think? I want you to type and to listen to your insights and your opinions on that. Do you guys think AIESEC can help companies to hire more diverse talents? Are you guys there? Yeah, you guys can answer. I need you guys to type, to write your answer. Um, why? Can you guys elaborate a little bit? I think it's a little bit obvious, but still, I need to know. I want to know what you guys think. But basically, my point on that is like, yeah, basically, AIESEC is all about diversity in all the possible ways. Any type of people with any skill set, from any background, culture, countries, profession, because the position they promote with us is available in other countries. Yeah, as simple as that. But also, as remember that when we say diversity, is like bringing male, females, bringing people with different ideas from different religion, from different ethnicity, and so on. So in the second, 35% of people, of recruiters or hiring managers, said that they need to recruit people with soft skills. Assessment. Do you guys think AIESEC is good at recruiting or developing, sorry, soft skills? Yeah, mostly among the members. But I mean, that's the core of what ISEC does is the leadership development, development of soft skills. Um, then the last question, one of the questions is that what are the top challenges that the team is facing, the recruiting team in the company? And 35% of them said that they have limited budget. So my question is that do you think ISA can be a cost-effective recruitment solution for companies with limited budget and small recruitment teams? This is a pretty long question. I'm going to type it, but do you guys think ISA can be a cost-effective recruitment solution for companies with limited budget? Yeah, and maybe then we have to adapt to the kind of company we approach. Definitely, but as said before, this is a report that was run to many companies around the world. So it's definitely that accurate, and it's safe to say that many recruitment teams are smaller and becoming smaller every day, and they face challenges in terms of um, in terms of the budget. Yes, yeah, companies might find it expensive, and for that we have to review. But then we also need to give a sense of what value we bring, uh, and they should be aware that of the prices of other uh, companies that could provide talents that the type of talent we can provide. But yeah, I agree, and you guys are right. Um, so then, and just to wrap up, because we're running a little bit late, I just wanted to share the case study of Nexans. So basically, Nexans is, I said before, this is the top two or the second largest cable manufacturer company in the world. It's a French company. And 2 years ago, and the current VP for talent development, her name is Laurence Gramont, she moved from Alcatel Lucent to Nexans. And back in Alcatel Lucent, uh, she used to work a lot with ISEC interns. She hired them themselves. She worked with colleagues who were joined the company via ISEC, and she had a great experience. So when she moved to Nexans, she realized that it did make a lot of sense to start a partnership with ISEC to diversify the talent, to bring fresh ideas to the function. And as of now, in Nexans, we are about 5 to 6 interns from Mexico, Colombia, Romania, and Hungary. All of us working there. And the reason why it's gone and it's growing so fast, all of us joined in less than 6 months actually, um, is because, as I said before, the quality of the recruitment. I would say there was someone inside who already was a champion, which was my boss, Laurence, who I mentioned before. She had a great experience with ISEC interns in the in her previous job in Alcatel Luxon. But also, I would say the good thing is the quality of hire. When they started seeing the type of profile that we could bring, that AIESEC can bring, is where they got interested in bringing more and more interns. Something also that you guys, and is an advice I think, is that once you get one intern inside, the good service, the good support that you guys as an AIESEC members provide to that person will make them have a great experience, and they will become your champions, your ambassadors within the company. They will be the one doing the sales for you guys without that intent. I would say without doing it intentionally, but if they're having a good experience, if they're performing well, if they feel support, then everybody will notice that, and there will be more interest from the company to hire more and more. So I guess that's all what I had to share. I hope you guys leave this webinar with some insights, some new ideas on how you can approach the companies, or how you can build a better, most effective speech that can actually get the attention of the HR leaders you're going to meet with, and also get different ideas on how to get their attention, on how to use the right lingo or language to show that you're confident and you know what you're doing, that you know what you're talking about, and hopefully start great partnerships with many, many companies here in France. So thank you so much for your time. And now I want to know if you guys have any questions. Great, no questions. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good evening. Great, thank you. Bye.